Good evening. Tonight I would like to talk to you about devil monkeys. Devil monkeys are 3 to 4 to 5 feet high, described as having a tail, glowing red eyes, and being something like a cross between a wolf and a baboon. Now I know many of you are familiar with Bigfoot and have heard of Dogman and even gugwees and different sort of things that stalk the woods. This is something that has been reported quite a bit, and it doesn't really fit into the categories of anything else. One of the most distinctive things is they're mainly a quadrupedal type beast with a protruding snout, similar to a dogman or a gugwee, but with a long tail. They seem to lack the mass of those bigger creatures. And also, going on up into Canada, down through Mexico and South America, they seem to be reported a lot. They're reported all over the country, but they mostly seem to be in the South and in the West. There have been reports all the way to Virginia and down through Florida. But I think when you start getting into the Northeast, when you start getting into Wendigo, Gugwee type territory, I think some of the bigger predators in the colder areas kind of help suppress these. That you don't really hear many of these being too high up and too cold a climate. The other thing that I found interesting was the reported tracks that they leave are like a three-toed track, sometimes shown with a dew claw, and being 5, 6, 7 inches long, somewhere between like a dog and a monkey. And that's what really gets me about these reported creatures, that people are seeing these things, is they seem like a cross between maybe like a young Bigfoot or like a young Dogman. This is pictures from Sasquatch Chronicles. He had a guest on his show who found these tracks in his yard, and they look like big raccoon tracks. I think they could possibly be one of these devil monkey type creatures people are seeing. They're kind of like a baboon on steroids or like a galita, but bigger and perhaps faster. They've been reported to move like a kangaroo. They can jump and move really, really fast, and to be very scary. I guess people report them as like a demon monkey. They've seen these things. Now, they've also been seen in same areas as Bigfoot, and I think they might be a competitive species. This is probably where a lot of the chupacabra myths come from as well, because I could see these things eating meat and fruit and probably whatever they can get their hands on. But they have been reported. The native cultures do talk of them somewhat, but it's kind of, to me, I always think of the Southwest in those different areas for these things. They seem to be very different. Like I was kind of hitting at, they almost seem like, could these be a juvenile Dogman, or could they be a juvenile Gugwee, which is the Bigfoot with the protruding snout? They seem different. They seem very monkey-like, but very dog-like at the same time. If you really want to get off into weeds, maybe there's some kind of genetic experiment or something we don't know about. It's also been suggested that maybe they're like an escaped baboon or like a galita or one of those mandrill-type monkeys. I don't know. People kind of know what those are, and they kind of describe these things as being a little more different. They do describe them as running around on all fours, having the long, narrow face, the snout, the ugly teeth, the big nasty teeth on them. But they also, like I said, on all fours, but they do have reported that they will pop up on their hind legs and take a few steps. Kind of like some quadruped monkeys and apes do sometimes. So they really seem to be like some kind of a cross between dog and monkey. I don't know. Your theory is as good as mine on where these things come from. But it really struck me when I started hearing these reports, because I've heard of the little people, which are like small Bigfoots, and I've heard of juvenile Bigfoots. But this whole devil monkey thing is something completely different. They have been spotted near the border. They have been spotted in the desert, brushy areas. And I could kind of see that. There are reports of being hit by cars and people out there. Now, these are scary because you think they probably would work like a pack or like in a troop. And yeah, I think some of the reports of little people or some of the things out there that are attributed to Bigfoot, if one ran across the road, you probably just would think it was some kind of a coyote or a dog, which is very interesting because people also report them, like I said, being very kangaroo-like, very fast, and that they hop. So if you guys got any more information, if you've had a sighting, if you know anybody that's talked to these, they are somewhat rare, but people are seeing up and down the West Coast and in the South and all the way over to Virginia. If you have any more information or anything you'd like to pass on, about the devil monkeys or these demon monkey things people are seeing. It was also in my 10 types of Sasquatch videos. Anyway, please like, please subscribe. Got more coming. And stay safe in the woods, folks. Thanks.